atheist, right? Which basically does imply that I don't believe in gods, right? But
Mm-hmm.
I do believe that there was, a man called Jesus. Now,
Mm-hmm.
what like the stories about him rising from the dead, I don't believe those, but like I know lots of people do. If that helps them through this life, fair enough. If they try to make rules for me based on their stories, then we'll have a problem. But other than that, I don't have a problem.
Well, whatever rules they trying to make, just know they don't follow it themselves. That's all you need to know. Okay. The entire Christian religion is a um, contradiction. It's a mediocre religion. It's a religion for mediocre people. That's what Christianity is. Christianity is I believe in somebody who's better than me. That way I don't want to be like him. That way I can fall short every day and he died to cleanse me of my sins. That's what Christianity is. It just breeds mediocre people. It is why there's so much death in the world right now because if I say, okay, a man that came that's supposed to show me how to be better ends up being God in the flesh, then I can never be like that man because I'm not God. So although I follow that man, I'm always going to fall short. And in me always falling short, a simple man might think I might lie. I might lust. You don't ever think about other people's falling short. For example, people who
What about hold
molest
on?
kids,
What about lust?
huh?
Oh no, keep actually no. You're in a flow. Keep going. Sorry.
Yeah. Nobody ever thinks about people who molest kids or people who beat on women or, grape women or people who, murder people. Nobody think about them falling short. Well, if Jesus Christ died for our sins and we all fall short, we ain't perfect, then how come they can't be saved? They can't get salvation. And that's what they believe. So the entire religion is like it's rule based with no rules. It's like they would tell you this. They would be like, the law is done away with. However, if you follow Jesus Christ, true believers will try to follow the law. But if you break the law, then it doesn't change nothing. That's what they believe in. It's crazy. It's like to me, it's just a joke. It's like this is a joke. But what you were saying?
Oh no, this is just what maybe just something slipped out there about lust, right?
Mm-hmm.
And the idea that religion tells you that you shouldn't lust or that's a sin or whatever, right?
Mm-hmm.
Do not covet your neighbor's wife, right? Depends what you mean by covet, but like if you just like look at your neighbor's wife and go, she's fine, right?
Mm-hmm.
I don't see the sin in that, right? If nothing ever happens and nothing ever is done, like, there's no sin, right? I do have a problem with and I come from like a long line of clergy. I do have a
Mm-hmm.
problem with like some of the teachings of Christianity where, they tell you that you're not worthy and that you have sin and Jesus had to die for your sin, which you didn't actually have. It was, supposedly the sin of Adam and Eve, and you have to wonder, was it even a sin? Because God set up the whole thing in a way that he knew what they were going to do, and he knew that the sin would be committed, and the whole thing is a fiction. It's a nonsense. You know,
Yeah. Okay.
this idea of
My bad.
original sin is stupid.
Okay, so a lot of that is just Christian dogma. None of that is what the Bible teach. So your first point about I think about lust being a sin. Lust is not a sin. Jesus Christ, he tried to teach people how not to commit sin by extending the law, by extending your thought process. Meaning what? He said that whoever's lusteth after a woman have already committed sin in his heart. He's not saying like this is gonna be counted against them. He's letting you know that hey, the only way to stop having sex with everybody's wife is to stop looking at her like that. It's not so much like you see a fine woman like damn. It's more like these people was like, you know what? The law says I cannot sleep with his wife. How I'm gonna have sex with her in my head, which leads to what? Which leads to you actually committing sin with her. As far
No,
as
no, no, no. I disagree with that line.
what line?
Well, like if you think about that in your head, right, and you have
Mm-hmm.
that thought in your head, right, it doesn't lead to committing something. That's like not true, right? You can have that thought and enjoy it, and then just move on with the rest of your day or life or whatever.
Yeah, that's how it starts. That's what everybody thinks. But you gotta remember, Jesus Christ came on the scene with a period of where his people thought just like that, but yet they kept on doing it. That was the point. Meaning that it'd be different if this was just sprung out of thin air. However, it wasn't. He was dealing with people who had the law of Moses for years and years and years, and they kept breaking it, breaking it, breaking it. And because they kept breaking it, they kept giving animal sacrifices because they didn't never think to themselves that they would be able to keep it. Why? Because their minds was dirty. Their hearts were dirty. They didn't know how to be righteous. They thought they could just do like you say, like, you know what, I'm just gonna do it like this. You know, it's a loophole. I'm not really doing it, but this is how I'm coping with it. Then you see men end up doing it anyway. Now, can some men not do it? Of course. We're not gonna just be black and white here, but majority of the people was doing it. They was thinking about it and doing it. So
Mhm.
when you said Jesus Christ
I,
died for
I look, I hear you, but
huh?
I'm not buying. I'm not buying what you're laying down.
About what?
Just that whole like what I said. I said like the idea that like I'm not buying that. I don't buy that story.
About what story? About the fact that
The story you're literally telling me, right?
no, like what about the story? Because really, I'm not giving a story. We're not even talking about
You're
Jesus
telling
Christ
me.
yet. We're talking about a
Yeah, we're
people
just talking
and
about the stuff I know. But like you were
mhm.
just telling me that the reason that they, that lusting or whatever is sin or whatever is because these people back in the back in time were
We're
you know
Rome.
thinking about it and then doing the thing, and I'm like, I don't buy this. Like, I mean,
Okay, now let me help
who's
you out.
like,
I got you. I got you. This is what I'm saying, right? So these people, I'm trying to make it not like a story, but like history, right? So during the time of Rome, the Jews was under the Roman Empire, right? They was able to do what they wanted to do just under Roman jurisdiction, right? They had to go to certain people and be like, hey, can I do this?
gotcha,
Can I practice in this custom? This is fact, right? I'm just laying facts, right? During
right?
that time, it was being ruled by like Pharisees and Sadducees. So now you have people who think about like a Christian pastor or like a Catholic pope who says he's representing God. So if I want to know about God, I got to go through him and do what he tell me to do, right? So imagine a man telling you, "Hey, don't eat don't eat shrimp," right? So imagine a man something simple like that. Hey, don't eat shrimp.
Hmm.
And remember, these laws he's telling you is not about the entire world. These laws are just a custom of a specific people. So don't think about worldwide. Think about these certain people have a certain custom that was given to them, right? That they claim. Now he says, okay, yeah, the law of Moses said we can't eat shrimp, right? Then guess what he does behind closed doors? He eats shrimp. He do these different things, and nobody could check him because he is the law. Imagine a dirty cop arresting people for smoking weed when he smoked weed at home.
Hmm.
Nobody's there to judge him at all. So when I say that Jesus Christ came to teach people, he came to teach people how to be separate from those men. Now you have men who want to do evil because they want to do evil. But you have other men who just trying the hard to be a good man. That's in life right now. You have so many people I see go on and cry themselves and damn they want to kill themselves because they made a great mistake they wish they never did. That's it. And because the people that are above them, the law, people they look up to, couldn't help them, they were screwed. So it was like an endless cycle of death. I don't have a good representation of what I want to be. People do this all the time. People go get counselors or find somebody like what they call it with Alcohol Anonymous. They're what's that word? They sponsor. Their sponsor's supposed to do what? Keep them from drinking alcohol. But what happens if your sponsor does alcohol? What if he drinks alcohol and what he falls back? You gonna be like, oh god damn, if he falling back, he supposed to be better than me. I'm going to fall back too. This is just common things, right? So Jesus Christ, when it talks about, so that's that part, right? Right. So when Jesus Christ came on the scene, just think about him as a regular man. Don't think about these people looking at him as he's God or
He
anything like that.
was he was a regular man.
Right? He was a regular man, right? So the things that he said, the things that he declared, it was a regular man declaring it, right? So if he said that me and the
No,
Father,
I think I agree with you, but like, you think he has divinity behind him? I think he was just a regular man.
I'm about to get to that point, right? I'm just on your level, right? We're just thinking about him being a regular man, right? So when the Bible talks about on a regular basis, on a practical level, of him dying for the sins of the people, it wasn't so much about like cleansing everything in a divine sense. I'm saying that for you, right? I'm gonna let you know the practical breakdown of it. The practical breakdown is that this man who came and had no sin and he was better than me died like me. So I'll give you an example, right? Um, if you take some people in a gang, you have a brother, right? Or you say yourself was in a gang, right? And you're in a gang and your brother ends up dying because of what you did, right? Somebody probably came and did a drive by and tried to kill you, right? But they end up killing your brother. What would you do? Would you stay in that gang or would you become an advocate to go against gang violence? Most people would be an advocate, right? Not everybody, but most people would be an advocate. Somebody lose a child in a car accident because they was driving drunk. That mother who survives will become an advocate for going against drunk drivers. That's what people do when they lose a loved one that should have never died. And that's what Jesus Christ represented to people who follow him. They're like, man, this man died for teaching me how to be better. That's why he died for
Well,
in a practical sense.
but he did. He like. Are you Trinitarian? Can I ask you
N-
that?
no,
You're not. Okay, right. So you don't think that but you think that he resurrected, right?
yeah, but I don't think
So
he's the
he
only
didn't really,
one. Only one.
he didn't really like he died, right? But like,
Hmm.
I mean, he died for only a couple of days. It wasn't like any sort of permanence to it. Like I could die for people if I was going to get up again on Monday, right?
Yeah, Jesus Christ is not the only one who died. Like the death for us, like Christians try to make
He took a weekend off. That's all.
a weekend off for what?
Took a weekend off from being alive.
Meaning what though? Like it's like nothing. I think
There
from
was no
a
great. There's no great sacrifice.
oh, that's what I'm saying. It is a great sacrifice. I'm gonna tell you why. I'm not making a okay. So you're looking at it because you probably talk to Christians. You're looking at the sacrifice as a religious way. I'm not making it religious for you. I'm making it like real
No,
life.
I'm saying to you,
Hmm.
he didn't make any great sacrifice, right? Guy dies, gets up a couple of days later,
No, it's not. It's
goes back
not.
up,
It's not about
to
him
heaven.
dying.
No big deal.
It's not about him dying. It's about why he died. The sacrifice is about him changing other people. That's the sacrifice. Like I brung up, if your brother dies because of you, he is that sacrifice. Because it was going to be you sooner or later. So your brother's death made you get out the game. He changed your life. He's the sacrifice. That's a practical breakdown that happens to this day. If somebody dies, if a man's driving drunk, I think I know somebody who his best friend died in the passenger seat while he was driving drunk. His friend was a sacrifice because that made him stop drinking. Now, when he wants to go pick that cup up, guess what he's thinking about? He's thinking about how another man died because of what he did. That's the practical version of it. It's practical. If you want to take all the spiritualness away from it, all the divine things away from it, that's as practical as it gets. And people do it to this day. That's what they do. And then we got some more people joining up. I think I recognize some of these people. John. Wait, do I got John?
Probably don't know me.
I don't know. You was muted, man. Mike do know you, man. Stevie, no Mike. What was this?
What?
Triangle? Diamond? What's up, man? Y'all got a question or comment about the topic? What's up?
What's
What
up?
is the belief?
We
What is
talking
your
about?
belief?
Y'all talking at the same
Yo,
time. What's up?
what do you believe in?
I am a Hebrew Israelite. So whatever you know that as is what I believe in. If I could break it down a little more if you want
The
me to.
what? The Hebrew what?
Hebrew Israelite. We believe we believe in
What's
a
that?
whole couple things. We believe that we descend from the 12 tribes of the nation of Israel. I don't want to say we descend from because we are that. But we believe that God's chosen people are black, Latinos, and so-called indigenous of the land. They're not the Jewish people who stay in Israel. They are converts. We also believe that the kingdom of heaven, the rulership, the land, the promises are for God's chosen people by ethnicity, but that ethnicity has to follow God. What else? We don't believe Jesus is God, right? We don't believe he's the most high God. We believe the importance of Jesus Christ on earth was because he was a man just like me to make me a better man. What else? Uh,
You're Jewish?
no.
Wait, I have a few questions, priest.
What's up?
You believe Jesus was a man just like you?
Yeah.
What do you think about John 1?
Well, the Bible teaches regeneration, right? So, like, the Bible says in Ecclesiastes that the thing that has been named already, and that thing is man. There's nothing new under the sun. So, the Christians talk about the Genesis creation. God rested on his own creation on the seventh day, right? If God rested on his creation on the seventh day, there's nothing new being created. Everything is just being recycled. Life is being recycled. You remember a tree, a fruit dies, you plant the seeds, it grows back. That's how life works. It just recycles. So in John 1, when he says in the beginning was the word, and the word was with God, and the word was God, who was in the beginning in Genesis? Adam. The word, Christians try to make it seem like the logos is literally the word of God coming out of his mouth. That's not what it's saying. It's a title given to Christ now because of how perfect he was in doing the Lord's will. He said, I have not come to speak my own words, but the words of the Father who have sent me. I have come not to do my own will, but the Father's will. Who have seen me have seen the Father. He's the great, faithful, and true witness. All these things showing God he was just a perfect man who represented God. That's it. So when it's calling him the Word, is referencing him as Adam. Adam was breath into him. The breath of life was raised. And Adam was in the beginning with God. Why? Because God was with him. And because Adam was in the beginning with God, he was God, which is just power. Adam had power because he was with the power. That's what it's talking about. In Hebrews 2, it talks about how Adam was supposed to damn near be Jesus Christ, how he was, because of Adam's sin, he failed. And that's what makes Jesus Christ special, because he redid what Adam failed to do. So it's like always going back and forth between the two about Adam and Christ, because why? In Adam we all die, in Christ we all live. That's why.
So, what about specifically John 1:3?
John 1:3, and all things was made.
through him.
Caused.
And
So that word made, that word made is caused. So Christ is the cause of everything, right? And you don't want to think everything like it's making it's not about like the stars and the moons. That doesn't make sense. You reading to people, Jews in the time of Rome, who's being persecuted and dying. That's not the point. The point is that Jesus Christ is the cause of everything, whether it be life or whether it be death. Why? As Adam, what was he? He's the cause of death. When it says death, don't think about like physically dying. It's death in a spiritual sense of circumstance. So when he got kicked out the garden represented what? All the good things. He didn't have to work for nothing. But when the Lord kicked him out, what happened? Because the serpent said you should surely die. God said you should die. They didn't literally die. They got kicked out, and he had to work the ground for the rest of his days. He had to sweat. That's what had to happen. So death came from Adam, because now these people had to live in a situation that they shouldn't have to live in. So now they got to go through certain things. They got to deal with certain things. They got to die from certain reasons because of the circumstances they are in that they shouldn't have had to deal with. Death is the reason why. Death comes from Adam. So what about life though? Life comes from Christ. That's I think it's Romans 5, what I'm paraphrasing. It says in Adam we all die, in Christ we all live. So that being made is cause. Adam was the cause of everything. Christ was the cause of life. Adam was the cause of death. Adam was Christ in the regeneration. Meaning the same
Wait a
spirit
minute,
that was.
Genesis 2:17, it says that God said, "You shall surely die." Right? Did you not say that? You said the opposite, did you not?
He said you shall surely die. Did they die as soon as they ate it? Took from it?
Are you stating that? So dying is not a matter of leaving the body. The body is just a manifestation of what is there in the unseen.
So did they die physically or spiritually?
Both.
They didn't die physically right when they ate it. They died spiritually right after they ate it. They took from it.
Never. But here's the thing: it never said you're going to die now. It said you shall surely die. It didn't say when.
Yeah, and they did
Rest is
die.
better.
They died. The death lets you know when they. No, you
So
don't want to think about it like that.
talking about when it never talked about when? It just says you're going to surely die.
Because the when comes from what happened after they did it. If the death meant physical, then why is the Bible highlighting the thing that they got kicked out the garden for? That's the
Wait
death.
a minute. You don't understand what I said, sir. I said
No, actually, I think. Hold up. It said you shall. Let me hold up. Let me look. Let me just double check. Let me double check.
I can grab the Hebrew for you if you like. That would be the most accurate.
Let me see. Yeah. See,
What are you guys talking about?
Genesis 2:17. So I won't call you a liar, but this is what it says. It says, "But of the tree of the knowledge of good and evil, thou shalt not eat of it. For in the day that thou eatest thereof, thou shalt surely die." So in that same day you eat it, you're gonna die. That's what it says.
Wait,
but
you
they
said
didn't.
thou? That's Old English. That's from the
for in the
KJV.
day.
I said the Hebrew.
For in the day. What is that? Why is it saying in the day? It says for in the day. Break that
That's
down.
translation, sir. That's not from the original language. It's translation from the original
What's the
language.
verse?
The translation
What's the
is
verse?
from the Genesis 2
I'm
and
just
17.
checking. I mean, I'm reading it, but there's many translations that
Genesis 3?
Genesis 2 and 17.
Oh, 2. Okay.
So we can check it, though. I'm checking it right now. I'm trying to put it in there.
2:17. Yeah. Yeah, bayom, yeah.
You shall.
It says on that day. It doesn't matter what translation you read. It's gonna say on that day. And on that day, they did not physically die. You better say you was wrong, man.
But sin and wait a minute, what the fuck? But you must not eat it from the tree of the knowledge of good and evil. For on the day, there it is. There's this translation. What is this one? You eat of it, you shall surely die. Well, here we go.
Yeah.
Let's read all of them. So the New International Version is what you must not eat from the tree of knowledge, good and evil, for you shall eat for when you shall eat of it, you will certainly die. That one never said the day. That's
No,
new.
it does. The Hebrew says Bayom. That means in the day.
In the day,
Okay.
thank you. I don't know why people always gotta go to Hebrew
But
on
that
me and
no,
Greek,
but
man.
that's not. But I feel like you can explain that differently. Like it just depends on you how you interpret that.
Well, how
I
would
mean,
y'all interpret it?
it really depends on like what is the word in Hebrew actually day, or is that just the English variant of what we consider day? Because for
Bro,
instance,
didn't you
logos.
just say let's go to the Hebrew and it proved you wrong? Now you're trying to
I mean, I'm
justify it
not
again.
saying that. I was back checking what I was saying. I wasn't saying that for sure.
And you were truly confident. You were like, let's check the Hebrew. Let's check the Hebrew. Let's check the Hebrew.
Yeah, why would I want to check the Hebrew? Because it's the original.
No, the point is
And
that
so I wanted to back check if I
no,
was saying it right. If I wasn't, then I wouldn't.
the point is, John, is that he's saying that you spoke with so much pride and ignorance and you was wrong. Like you could have been like, let me check on that verse. Let me check on that verse. You could be right. He was like, no, you're wrong. It doesn't say in that day. I went to the verse. It says in that day. And every time somebody always puts up the Hebrew, they act like the verse I'm reading is not translated from the Hebrew in the I read the KJV, so y'all probably read something else. The KJV
No,
is
I was just saying there are some translations. No,
Mhm.
I would say you got a false accusation there. I wouldn't say out of
What?
pride. No. Otherwise,
Okay.
I wouldn't say check it. I would have said it is, and I would have not said check it.
No, you said it was. You said it doesn't say in the day. You said that. Did you
I said
misspeak?
no. We're not going to twist words now. I said
John-
in the New International Version, this is what it says. It does not say it.
You
It's
didn't say
because the
nothing.
NIV tries to no. It's because the NIV is a translation that tries to smooth out contradictions.
There
That's
you
why.
go. There you go. So don't take my
No, but
words and
it's
twist
true.
them now, sir.
You
That
got
is some
man.
pride.
You can't be no scholar, man. The NIV, man. You better go back to the KJV, man.